Welcome to Season 2 of United We podcast, brought to you by the United Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce. This season, we're excited to introduce a fresh lineup of special guest hosts as we dive deeper into the stories of our chamber members. From personal journeys to business successes, we're bringing you closer to the people and ideas that are shaping the future of our community. Get ready for a season filled with inspiration, insights, and the voices that make our region thrive. Joining us as this episode's host is Amy Granberry, Chair of the Board. Welcome to United We podcast.
Hello, and welcome to United We podcast. Today, I'm joined by Judith Talavera with AEP Texas. Hi, Judith. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a crazy busy schedule, and we appreciate you making time for us today.
My pleasure.
So we just want to talk a little bit about leadership, the community, of course, AEP, and hear from you today. So start out, just tell us a little bit about your journey. I know you've had an interesting career and to get where you are. So tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Feel very honored to lead the AEP Texas organization. But I joined AEP Texas, gosh, it's been 24 years. It'll be 24 years in October, so time has flown by. And really, public policy is my background. So I kind of grew up working in and around the Texas legislature and was actually a staffer at the Capitol when I had an opportunity to come and join the government affairs team for AEP Texas. We are regulated by the state of Texas, by the Public Utility Commission. So then had an opportunity after a few years in the government affairs space to head up our regulatory services organization and represent the company before the Public Utility Commission of Texas, and then had an opportunity to come to Corpus Christi and take my current role.
Wonderful. So how long have you been in Corpus Christi?
I have been here 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
Excellent. And I think you've changed positions while you've been here, or were you always?
Well, when I moved here, it was to accept the president and COO role for AEP Texas. And, I must say, when I first joined the company and I would meet so many people who had worked 25 years, 30 years, 40 years for the company. So I just knew it was going to be a great organization to work for, a great company to work for. And here I am 24 years later myself.
That's wonderful. I know the people that I know at AEP have been there a very long time. And coming from the nonprofit space, AEP has been an amazing partner. So tell us a little bit about AEP Texas and your role in the community.
Well, so maybe and a lot, I know, and a lot of your listeners that we are the transmission and distribution utility. So we deliver the power to you. We don't bill you for it and we don't generate it, but we deliver it to your homes and businesses. And we are in that way literally connected to every premise, certainly in our communities, but not only because of that, but we view ourselves very much as a community partner in the communities in which we live and work. I mean, our employees live and work and play here, and we're very proud to do so. We're headquartered here in Corpus Christi. We serve a large part of South Texas and West Texas, and as part of not only being a service provider, through the electricity that we deliver to your homes and businesses, we consider being an active and supportive community partner in the community very important. It's something we're very proud to do.
Well, I know as a longtime resident of the Coastal Bend, the best sight ever after any kind of disaster is an AEP truck rolling down the street. And I know recently during Beryl, I got to watch several of your crews leaving.
Yes.
To go help. So talk about how you prepare for that natural disaster and the constant work that goes on to be ready, because you respond so quickly. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. We're in the middle of hurricane season, which began June 1 and it runs through November. So, but just as a normal course of business, we monitor the weather on a daily basis, right, throughout the day. So we are always tracking what is happening from a weather perspective, and certainly start amping up our preparations when we see a disturbance that might have an impact in our footprint. So it was no different for Hurricane Beryl. When we started to see that there was a disturbance, in the Atlantic that might come our way, we activated our incident command structure. And ICS really is a type of organizational structure that allows us to be better aligned with state and local emergency responders. So we activated our ICS, and that means our teams just really get a lot more active in their preparation. We start making sure we have all the appropriate material and an adequate amount of supplies and material in case we have to respond. We started communicating with the public through various channels, right, through social media about just hurricane preparedness and that there might be, a hurricane heading our way. We communicate in both English and Spanish, and really start working with our local communities and updating their critical care, lists, and making sure we have the information on cooling centers, if they have cooling centers that they're preparing to set up, and just wanting to make sure that we have information, all the updated information from our communities, and that they have information on us and the level of preparation that we're doing. We also reached out to all of our large industrial customers. I mean, serving the port, we have a lot of large industry that's located along the Gulf Coast. And we also started looking at securing additional resources to come in and help. So those are probably some of the resources also that you saw, because we set up the Borchard Center as our main check-in site, and we had 2,700 probably additional resources checked in and ready to go by Sunday afternoon before Beryl made landfall. And after it made landfall, we realized after conducting some of our assessments that we could release some of those resources to other areas that had been impacted.
It's really amazing to watch, and we appreciate you always being ready.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's this community is very lucky to have you here, and we don't have that many headquarters, so to have this one here is truly amazing. Let's shift gears a little bit and hear a little more about you and what developed your leadership style, who your mentors were, how you came through this path.
I have to say that I have been extremely fortunate in my career, in my professional and my education, to have really good mentors. I mean, people who cared about their employees, their teams, certainly about the important work that we do for the communities that we serve, for our customers. But they just set such a great example about the right way to treat, not only our customers, but each other, at work, and encouraged, diversity of thought, diversity of perspective, and a team environment that is very collaborative and that encourages that type of open dialogue and constructive feedback that sometimes is necessary, because I'm not going to pretend that I have the answers to everything, but that's why it's very important to have a strong team, around you as a leader. So I had mentors who not only encouraged me to speak up and to bring my perspective, when I participated in meetings or in any initiative that the company was putting forth. And I think that helped me tremendously, but it helped me be a better leader, most importantly, for my team.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So I know AEP has always supported the United Corpus Christi Chamber. And so tell us a little bit about that relationship and what we know that we benefit from your support, but what do you get out of the chamber? What does your organization benefit from?
Yeah, I think the organizations such as this chamber provide such a vital role in our communities. I mean, they really are the place where businesses and different business interests get to come together and talk about what's needed or what's important, for the community. I mean, there's also the additional benefit of being able to network and getting to know people, right? But I think it just helps facilitate some of those important conversations that are so important for the growth and the vitality, of a city.
Well, we definitely appreciate your ongoing support for all of our programs and helping us with those. What do you see as the biggest challenges and opportunities for Corpus Christi and the Coastal Bend over the next couple of years?
That's a great question. I think one of the great opportunities that we have is just being in this community, living in this community, is the strong interest that we're seeing from others, right? And the strong growth that we're seeing. in our community and in our region. I think it's tremendous from just from a growth perspective, new opportunities that will exist, not just for businesses, but for education and just quality of life. But that comes with challenges as well, right? To make sure that we have all the necessary infrastructure to support that level of growth. We're certainly a key part of that, having to build the electric infrastructure that's needed to support that growth. So I view it as an opportunity, not a challenge, but I do have to recognize that there's things we have to work through.
Absolutely. I think power and water are two of the biggest conversations in Texas at the moment, between, having enough water for everyone and having a stable grid all the time.
We are certainly very much a part of those conversations. Yes.
Are both some of the biggest conversations happening right now. On a personal level, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges for this community, and where you would like to see more growth?
Well, I have, I'm married with 2 boys, one who just graduated from college, another one who just graduated from high school and is headed away to college. But our older son just came back home and is working for a business here in the Corpus Christi area. And I just want to make sure we're creating an environment that where he feels welcome, coming back and being certainly very much a contributing member, of society, but a place that offers enough, incentives, attractions, different things that encourages him to stay and continue to have a full professional, productive life here in this area.
Congratulations on a college graduate and
Thank
a high
you.
school graduate. I hope
It's been a busy year.
Yes, it sounds like it. And so drop-off is probably coming up very quickly.
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
That's mine. Actually got home last night from his summer internship with Offshore Shipholding Group, and he leaves for school Saturday morning. So I get
Exciting times.
exciting times, to have them and see them. But I too, I want him to be able to come home if he wants to. And so I share that, I moved here on purpose 27 years ago, and I think it's a beautiful community, and I want this community to continue growing and to have those things. What do you think is one of the most important projects that you've done recently, something that AEP's worked on that you're really most proud of over the last year?
Gosh, that we've done over the last year. There's so many different things.
So narrowing it down is probably difficult.
Yeah, there's so many different things, I think, as a company that we're very proud, to support as a community. And I think one of the things that, always comes to mind for me, just when I'm thinking specifically about the service that we provide, is our response to storms. And I have to think about our teams and how proud they are of the work they do in that space, right? But along with that is we have to make sure that we are providing the right opportunities and for our employees and the members of our teams to grow and to develop. So I'd actually like to maybe just mention one of the really important programs that the Chamber helps to put on, and it's Leadership Corpus Christi, because I can think of a number of our employees who have gone through that program, who have graduated from that program, and have benefited tremendously from it. And I think it's an example of a way that we're able to support some of those initiatives, I think, that are so important, not beyond AEP Texas, that support other leaders throughout the community, but we have employees who have also benefited, significantly from that. And I just have that top of mind because I was visiting with one of the recent graduate, in our company who participated last year. And I think it's important to support those types of initiatives and programs, and it's something we're really proud to support with the Chamber.
Well, that is wonderful news because Leadership Corpus Christi is one of my favorite things that we do as a chamber. So, again, I know AEP Texas has supported that for a long time, but to hear the graduates and those stories, we just welcomed the newest class 53 on Thursday, so we continue to move on and continue to grow that program. So, thank you so much for that. What else? Anything else you want us to know about Judith or AEP Texas before we wrap up?
Well, just, certainly appreciate the opportunity and the ability to partner with y'all. I mean, yes, we support many of the programs that y'all put out there and the chamber in general, but y'all do a lot for the community, to try and bring, different things, I think, to the forefront. And we're able to participate in many of those through our partnership, with you. So certainly appreciate that tremendously. And I think that our teams, our employees, they are very proud to work, not just for our company, but to be a part of this community that I think, you rightly stated earlier is wonderful. It's great. It's a beautiful city and it's a growing region. And it's something we should all be proud of and want to make better. And I think working together, we can make that happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time today. It's always a pleasure to get to speak to you and so respect your leadership and everything you do in this community. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And to our audience, thank you so much for joining us and join us again next time.